Alright, so that is to the north of the Dark Lake. Now, as Sereth kind of sits down, he looks over towards Shushar, and he says something in a language you guys can't understand, except for Undercommon, so Kara. And he looks over at Shushar and says, "I want to be dead. I want to be caught dead in that shithole that you call Sloob." And of course, Shushar, he's like, he's making just a couple, sort of like a couple anxious sounds, and he's just sitting in the corner, kind of hiding behind Kara a little bit.
She goes ahead and says that, well, come now. There's no need to be rude.
Oh, milady, I am not being rude. That is just simply the facts. I will be not caught dead in that shithole. And he says that in common for everyone to hear. So, as, Topsy and Turvy, they're like, oh, well, speaking of where we want to go, we want to head to Blingdenstone. So they kind of come over. They see that you guys have maps and whatnot. So they walk over to whoever has the map out. Marchmail, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it.
Most likely that would be Al having the map.
And they put on the very northern upper, probably 25, 40 miles away from the Dark Lake, there is a Blingdenstone. And this is where the two Smirfneblin want to go. Topsy and Turvy, they want to go to Blingdenstone. Eldith, she wants to go back to Gauntlgrim. Of course, she had mentioned Gauntlgrim also. But as for, she's really not that proficient in the ways of, navigating throughout the Underdark. She just says Gauntlgrim is very far to the west, close to the Neverwinter Woods and close to Neverwinter. And she has no clue where it is on the map. And then, as she, she says she has no clue where, Sereth says, I know where Gauntlgrim is. And he etches more of the map for everyone to see. Alright, so that is a huge travel to Gauntlgrim.
Brother Echo kind of looks at Seraph and goes, "You seem to know a lot of the Underdark. Do you know a way to the surface?"
I am a drow. I do know of several ways near Menzoberranzon, but as for other ways to the surface in our current state, I do not know. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Where does Jimchar want to go?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
He says,
And the Bupido guy.
Jimjar will follow the Smirfneblin. He'll go to Blingdenstone.
And Bupido?
Ah, Bepito. He's like, I'm traveling along the lake, especially if Sereth travels the lake. I am going to Grakelstug. I will find my place with the other Duergar and the Daedro there.
Well, it seems that at least for the immediate future, our goals align. We're going for at least part of the way here from Velkenvelv in the same direction. But for now, I would suggest that we all, if Al and the others think that we're safe in this spot, we really need to rest.
And there is strength in numbers.
Now you guys feel free to talk with one another. You guys are camping, so you still have a little whiles to go before you're going to need to get your, literally going to need to get your 6 hours of rest for those of you that aren't monks and for those of you that are not elves that get trance.
Well, I think we should all at least head to Sloop first. That's the closest. And it looks like central path towards everything else.
Yeah, and topsy-turvy, you know, they tell you that if you would like to go to Blingden Stone, they can take you. And even Sarah, he kind of chuckles and says, "And I can lead you to Menzo Berenzon. But then again, if you think Velkenvelv was bad, you should see the strongest drow city, Menzo Berenzon."
I'm gonna look at Sarah and say I wouldn't be caught dead in that shithole.
I get the point, my friend. I can see who's on what side.
Brother Echo kind of wants to relieve the tension between Al and Zev, so he starts using his elemental attunement on the fire and kind of makes it dance, turn into shapes and stuff like that, like a dragon and other things, just to try to ease the tension and put on a show to give some people at ease.
I like that, Al. I'm going to give you inspiration for that comment as well. That was really good. I'm going to give you some inspiration for that.
Well, thank you.
No problem. I like that. Kind of puts old Sereth in his place. I do like that.
Kira's gonna make sure that her clothes are as fresh and clean as they possibly can, and then mumble to herself about not having any really nice clothes to put on, since the drow ruined her old clothes.
There is plenty of water, you know, between the tracking of Topsy and Turvy and of Val. There's plenty of water around, so you can wash your clothes if you'd want to. You only need to transfer for 4 hours anyway. No,
Yeah, she's definitely.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna.
Yeah, she does get trance.
Because she wouldn't really necessarily like to wash her own clothes because people do that for her. I think she's gonna hint to people that her clothes really need to be washed.
Oh, Shushar, he jumps right to it. Shushar, I will help you out with that. I may not be a good fighter. I may not be proficient with a weapon, but I can clean some clothes.
Perfect. And she hands them to him and directs him then, well, make sure that you don't ruin it, and make sure that it's clean and that it dries off nicely. And then points out a few severe stains that she wants to have cleaned properly. And really
Nice.
treats him like he's her servant.
I kind of take out I have a little drum and just a little tiny hand drum, and I'm just kind of tapping on it a little bit. Kind of hear the drips and everything in the cavern. I'm just kind of making up a little rhythm along with those. Because I'm bored.
Okay, that sounds good. And you're kind of like just
Not
kind
really
of
loud,
playing
just
it.
a little, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Kind of trying to seeing if hearing the kind of general noises of the Underdark and kind of trying to practice simulating those with my drum.
Okay. Sounds good.
Brother Echo kind of picks up Stoll. Well, puts his hands on the ground to see if Stoll will hop up in his hands. Because he kind of wants to sit down and mess with Stoll. He's very fascinated with Stoll.
So he's a little big to jump up into your hand, but not like a little puppy or anything. But he does take kind to you. He does take to you a little bit. So now that you're not meditating to your god, and this is coming from Jim Jar, he does speak in Gnomish. He says, "Did you plan on leaving me there to die?"
I don't speak Gnomish.
I thought you said you did speak Gnomish.
No, I speak Common, Dwarvish, Halfling, and Orc.
Okay, well he looks over towards Kara and asks her to translate to Brother Echo in a language that he can understand. That
She, of course,
did he
does.
plan on leaving him to die there? Because you all well know that, he says the drow would have taken it out on all of us if we wouldn't have escaped. I could have swore he said he spoke gnome.
Kind of tells me that, and I'm like, well, translate this to him. And I pull out the bowl.
Yeah, exactly, Willie, but no, I'm
one
not
that
going to
I
do
had.
that.
Kind of like spin it in my hand and go, you ever endanger my friends? Or put us all in danger like he was planning on to? Like, to tell the drow if we didn't pay you gold? Or give you riches when we plan to escape? I would gladly stick you again.
Well, you're not my friend. You're not a very good haggler, are you? Very inexperienced in the ways of the Undercommon and the way that we run things down here in the Underdark. Everything is negotiable.
Well, I'm pretty sure your life is, we was going to offer you freedom, which apparently you got anyways, which I'm glad you did. And I kind of say it in like a smart-ass attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And like with a smirk, and I'm like, if you didn't want your freedom good enough that you wanted gold to be free, then I have no worries about ever helping you.
As I said, you are a very bad negotiator. You need to learn the ways of the Underdark. And
Not from you.
he and as they're speaking back and forth, Al, that actually makes a lot of sense to you, because especially being Underdark is part of being your favorite terrain. That he's actually right. Jim Jar's actually quite right. All right, so you guys want to get some rest? I would say I would guess you guys want to get some rest.
Yes.
All right.
So do we use our hit dice before the rest, or is that
Absolutely.
afterwards?
If you guys want to use, if you guys are going for a 6-hour rest, you won't have to use any hit dice. But there's a chance that there could be an encounter, and you won't get your full health back. So it's up to you guys. Do you guys want to remember, when you take a long rest, you're only going to get back half of your expended hit dice heals. So if you use 3 hit dice heals, you're only going to get 1 back. If you use 2, you're only going to get 1 back, because it rounds them down as well. If you use 4, you get 2 back, etc., etc., etc.
Well, if I'm getting at least 1 back, I'll go ahead and use 1. Maybe clear up those last few wounds I have.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Anybody
Can
else
I,
can do the
Remind
same?
me how to do that.
Well, I was wondering if I'm worried about noise. I mean, I have a song of rest. It doesn't say how loud the song is or how loud the song has to be. But if I use the song of rest, then everybody gets an extra 1d6.
Yep. You would.
For each one they use?
It doesn't
No,
specify.
for one. Just for
Yeah, I figured it
you'll
was
just
just
get
in
1d6.
general.
Yeah, you'll just get 1d6 as long as someone uses a hit dice heal. So if you
Yes.
expend a hit dice heal, you will get an additional bonus of 1d6. And I can't remember. Did I put Song of Rest on your as a condition that you could drop on them?
No.
It will be on there for next game. I will
Okay.
put it on there for you next game, Morph.
So,
So yes, I'll use that.
All
yeah,
right.
So Brother Echo's going to use one hit dice deal because he knows that the Song of Rest that because Morven, kind of told us about it, that he can help heal us as we rest.
I can do whatever I want
Two.
with them in Nexum. I can help them. I can attack them. I can try to kill them. I can do whatever I want with the NPCs.
So how do we do the extra?
Any
1d6?
DM can.
You
You'll
just
just
roll
have
it
to,
separately?
just roll an extra d6, and that's how much you'll get. But next time that we play, I'll have a little medallion.
Okay, I didn't need it anyway. I'm
Yeah.
full
Yeah.
now.
Brother
I
Echo,
kinda
you gonna
need it.
burn one?
I did. I rolled
Okay.
I rolled a 9, and then I rolled a 6 on the Song of Rest.
Nice. So you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I'm back to max.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with Nexum. I'm just I always like to change things up, man. I just didn't want him to go to
as we all
waste
start
after
laying
chapter
down the
1.
rest and all that,
I didn't want him to go to
Brother Echo
waste. That's
kinda
why I'm
looks
using him.
around and at everybody and goes, "How are we gonna do the watch? Because the Underdark we all experience, and most of y'all are from here, of course. Y'all know the dangers. How do y'all normally do the watches?"
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, what can happen is, if seeing that we could see two factions here. At least, we see two factions. We see at least, Jimjar and Sereth kind of working together, and then it's you guys. But as for everybody else, you really don't know where they stand, except for you remember Turvy. She told Jimjar to get over it. You know what I mean? So, but you just don't know. You know what I mean?
Kira's gonna want to take first watch. She's not tired.
Okay, so you're only going to need to do, if you got 6 hours, I guess you'd probably do them for 2 hours. We'll say that the conversation and kind of first watch was 2 hours, and then everybody else needs to have their 6 hours. So, obviously the elves and whatnot will rest towards the end. Brother Eco, he'll probably be one of the one of the later rests as well. So, all right, I want one person to roll a d20. Oh, I thought that thing was going to land on 20. I was going to be like, wah, 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 wah. Very nice. So your rest is gone by uneventful. Everybody starts to wake up. You don't know what time of day it is anymore. You've kind of lost all track of time. You don't know if the sun is up. You guys are miles beneath the surface of the world. You don't know if the sun is up. You don't know if the sun is down. You miss the wind blowing against your face. You miss that. And everybody's up. Let me tell the turn tracker that everybody has a long rest, so everybody will get back their spell slots. Everybody has got back their hit dice heals. Everybody's gotten back their features.
Hey Dave,
Bardic
how does
inspiration?
How does that work?
All right, inspiration works like this. This is how it officially works in 5e. You tell me before you want to roll, tell me that you are inspired by something. So, of course, I want you to woo me, tell me how you're inspired. And when you tell me how you're inspired, you will get advantage on your next attack roll, saving throw, or skill check. Or, I always also have an or in there. Sometimes you forget about inspiration and you miss an attack, a very important attack. If you can woo me enough on why I should allow you to take another attack, even though you're supposed to declare advantage before the attack, if you can woo me enough, I may let you be inspired, and I'll take your inspiration, and you can attack again. So technically, it's not by the book, but I do inspiration by the book, or if you want to do anything with it, maybe you want to re-roll damage. I don't know. If you can woo me good enough, I don't know if you'd want to use inspiration on re-rolling damage, but for anything, if you can woo me enough, I may let you use inspiration.
And
so that's how I do it.
Do I need to check the bubble for inspiration? Or will that
No.
automatically show up?
Yeah, I believe if you, yeah, those are just radials that you can check. So nobody
Just so I remember
has.
that I have it.
Yeah, you would check the box to make sure that you have it, and then once you use it, you just uncheck it.
Okay.
Yeah, wooing. I love to be wooed. All dungeon masters love to be wooed. Don't let them fool you if they tell you they don't, but they do. We will. You're crazy, dude. Oh, silly wee Willie. Silly wee Willie. Alright, so everybody's getting up now. It is I guess you could say it is a new day, technically, in the Underdark, maybe? You have no clue what time it is, nothing like that. You haven't known what time it is for at least a week. Week and a half?
I guess nobody stabbed Jim Jar while we were resting.
It was tempting, but I didn't.
Okay. So is everybody ready to move out? I'll take the lead on our next leg of the journey. Unless anybody's got anything they need to finish up.
Old Shushar looks over at you, Kara, and he's asking you if are we making the trip, the rest of the journey to Sloob today? We can make it by the end of the day.
Well, I think she's gonna ask the others if they still want to go.
Celebration.
Yeah,
Right.
Kira's all over
Hopefully.
that, but
Ooh, lots of clean clothes for the elf.
I think we have to go by there to go to the other places anyway. Some of the others may not want to stay there, but
Just wait, Taz.
we have to head that direction.
Just
I'm
wait,
pretty sure
Taz
we can get
McCon.
home.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So she's gonna tell him, yes, of course, you're gonna go and have a big celebration.
All right. So, Sareth says he'll journey. He'll journey with you to the lake, and then from the lake he may loop back to the long chasm and take the very long route, or if he could find some type of water passage via the Dark Lake, he may hire someone there to take him to the Neverlight Grove. He and his traveling companion Stool, and as he, Stool kind of shudders, and Stool's is back with him now. Also, the Topsy and Turvy, they are in agreement of going to Sloob. They will also try to find a watery vessel to Blingdenstone. And the same thing with Budapo. He's going to go to Grakelstug to be with the rest of the Darrow and the Duergar. So he's gonna make the trip to Sloob. And then also, last but not least, Jimjar, he says he'll make the trip as well.
Now, Dave, Sarah said he wanted to go to the Neverlight Grove and then to Menzon, or was he just telling us that's where he found Stool?
Sareth is on his way to First off, Sereth is on his way to the Neverlight Grove for some reason. And he has welcomed all of you to come to the Neverlight Grove as well. And he could show you the way to the Neverlight Grove. It is a, it's a beautiful place. And if you would like to go there, we could part ways. And then he is going to make it to Menza Berenzon to prove his innocence. But he needs to stop by Neverlight Grove first to settle something.
We've already committed to getting this little Kuotoa back to Slubladop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Neverlight Grove looks like it's across the lake. And you told us last session that Stool was from there and he wanted to go back. So I guess we're assuming that's why. Maybe that's why this guy wants to go to take him home. Maybe.
Yeah, Sereth laughs. He says that he will travel
probably like
around the
bookends.
lake. He will not travel directly via the middle of the lake. There is no way in hell. He says there are too many creatures of the depths that will sink boats with one fell swift hit.
Yeah, but he talked about using a vessel to kind of traverse the lake, so probably using the outskirts of the
Correct.
lake instead of.
Yep.
So that'd be the best place we could hit. But it goes like, well, we can hit Slough if we want to try to venture together and get everyone home safe. We could venture to Slough. I'll pitch in for a craft or find a merchant who's willing to let us board. Traverse through the Neverlight Grove, and then we can make our way to Blingenstone, and then Zereth from there can go to Mezabaron.
Oh.
If the gnomes will have us in Blingenstone for a while.
Oh, we would love to have an escort. Even Jim Jar says, sort of with a sly comment, absolutely. I'll be more than happy to save your tails once again. And he just kind of chuckles.
It's a long journey, Jim Jar. So don't get too
It
confident.
is, my friend. It is.
And what about Gauntlegram? Are we gonna let Eldith go by herself, or will she be willing to stay with us?
She's
through
willing
the
to
journey
stay
and we'll
with
go
you.
last?
Yeah,
To
exactly.
the door, of course she's willing to stay.
Yeah, she's willing to travel with Edith and the rest of you, as long as you make it to the surface. And if you make it to the surface, as long as you're in the Sword Coast, she will be able to, make her way back to Gauntlegrim.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Hit the outskirts of the. Now,
And also Sereth, he says, and as you leave Blingden Stone, and if you travel to the west, Neverlight's Grove is on your way, and I'd be more than happy to show you the way there. And I may just, if you decide to travel to Neverlight Grove, I may just wait outside of Sloop and wait for you. Unfair, thank you very much for the follow.
Well,
Appreciate
Echo
it.
kind
Man.
of looks at him and goes, will you be partaking in purchasing the vessel to help get across? If you're not in Sloop with us,
Dragio,
how
thank
are you
you.
going to be able to board?
I'm sure I could find something, and just, I just don't want to directly step inside of that shithole. As he kind of whispers a little bit. I want to, I will
kind of,
have the boat just come around and pick me up. That would probably be the best thing to do.
well, the Echo kind of whispers back, goes, what's so long with Sloop? Are you not telling us something?
No, he just doesn't like Kuotoa. He just says, no, I just don't like the Kuotoa.
Very well. We'll try to settle that matter when we get closer, because we got to make it there first.
We do. Very good. So it looks like you guys have somewhat semi-established a route. Sloob, drop Sloob off in, well, you'll be dropping Shushar off in Sloob, and then it looks like you'll be taking a boat to the northeast around to, around Mantle Dareth to drop off Topsy and Turvy and make your way to Blingden Stone. And then after that, it looks like you guys are going to travel west again, southwest to the Neverlight Grove. Yeah, there you go. Looks like you guys
So-
have a route in store.
That Mantle Dareth, what type of city is that? Who lives there?
Menza Berenzon?
No, that Mantle Dareth below Blingdenstone on the lakeside.
Oh, I'll let you guys know that later on. I don't want to. What I think it is, I don't want to tell you and it not be right, and then change later
Well,
on.
'cause
I'll let you know
I'm-
later on during the
I'm
travels.
pretty sure the Duragar, aren't they normally like evil? So we may not want to travel to Graxlug.
Not all Duergar are evil. Not all of them are.
Okay. Well, because I know Rapido wants to go back, and I don't know if that's maybe he can take the boat by himself if they're gonna attack us when we get there.
Yeah, well, I know it's it is a trade city. It's like a sort of like a trade hub for I think it's the lower depths of the Underdark.
All right, so we'll go over to Mantle Dareth first and see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like, if my memory serves me correctly, it's sort of like a melting pot. So it has, I believe it has Illithids, Drow, Duergar, Deep Noon. I think it has everything there. As for, like Gracklstug would be mainly Darrow and Duergar. And, I believe that it's a trading area, but I believe it's sort of like a melting pot of all the Underdark races. Probably not your favorite place to be for a top dweller.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more of safety. I mean, it might be a bad,
Well, you can always
I don't
go
know how to
around
say it,
Mantle
but-
Dareth. You can always go
Yeah.
around. You don't have to go directly through. All roads don't lead to Mantle Dareth. I mean, you can go around and go up to Blingden Stone if you choose to.
Right.
For sure. Pretty good route. I will actually take a note of that. And Bapido says, "Hey, what about me? I could use an escort. I don't want to travel across this dark lake by myself. How about you drop me off last, and I will also accompany you to Sloob, then to Blingden Stone, then to the Neverlight Grove, and then you can help me get to Gracklstug as well."
Do you know if there's any exits to the surface near Grackle?
Oh, there are many. There are many.
Well, then maybe that's where we need to head then, and then we can head out topside from there, and then on towards Gontalgrim. Sound like a
Sounds
plan
good.
to the rest of you guys?
So the
Whatever I
plan
heard.
is plan is Sloob, Mental Death, Sloob, try to find a boat, get across the lake without getting ourselves eaten by whatever the depths hold for us.
Kraken, for Christ's sake! No, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
To
Whatever the
Blingden
random
Stone
encounter.
to drop off deep gnome plans, and I look at Jim Jar when I say that.
Love it. Love it.
Make our way to Neverlight Grove and help stall out, looking at Zera. Make our way to Grackerslav to drop off Rapido, hit the surface, and then see our new dwarven companion home. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, yeah. She loves the sound of that.
And see what happens on the way.
Eldith loves the sound of that.
Well, I guess we better get started. 'cause
She's
that
got a
seems
little
like
pep
long
in her
way to
step.
me.
Yeah, she says, "Are we ready to?" Yeah, it's a very long travel. Probably several weeks worth of traveling. Could be cut shorter if we do get lucky in Sloob and find some type of ferry, we could definitely probably save a little bit of time. So, but we're probably looking at a couple weeks, says Bupido. All right, so you guys are ready to head out. Everybody has their weapons oiled, the kinks out of their armor, I guess you can say.
As we're heading out, I'm gonna look over at Jim Jar and say, "Come on, little guy, let's see if there's another way you can save us today." Kind of sarcastically.
To Jim Jar?
Yeah.
Oh, he says he'll walk point any day. In fact, he would probably prefer it because of you top dwellers don't know your ass from a hole in the ground, especially your friend over here that doesn't know how to negotiate in Underdark terms. So yes, I will be glad to be point, and he will definitely be point.
Some people are just
So he can get eaten by the next rock.
Yeah, pretty much.
About ammo, are we supposed to track that?
Yes, it actually, ammo should be tracked automatically on your sheet. If you on your character sheet where it says under actions, you'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any in there, so.
There you go. You had 20. What'd you fire? About four or so
yeah.
shots. Okay, there you go. It is tracked now. 16.
Is it possible to get some back? If are they completely destroyed when she's used them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep, for sure. But there are other ways to find more arrows. I'm sure that maybe some creatures, or maybe a wandering traveler. There have been known to have been wandering travelers in the Underdark. So I'm sure if you meet one of these wandering travelers in, say, a certain coalish of apparatus or whatever it's called, I'm sure that this particular vendor will have some arrows you could purchase.
Plus, I'm sure
Sure.
Sloob is like a port city. They probably have vendors there, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah. Schlug says that. Oh yes, lots of trade.
Good, because I'm gonna need some new clothes too.
Okay. All right, so it looks like we are almost 8 o'clock. We are off, huh? And I think this would be a good place to stop. So don't forget. So thank you guys for playing. Number one, I had a great time today. Good job of that, Vra.